football and sports betting. Come join us here at the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast, where hosts Matt, Shane, and Jason talk about fantasy players, lineups, and sports betting to help you compete and win championships. And of course, some extra cash. Let's jump right into the show.
Yes, we are back with another episode of the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast. It is your host, Matt, joined by, of course, my two lovely co-hosts, Shane and Jason. How are you guys doing tonight?
I am doing fantastic, sir. It is great to be here. A fantastic weekend of football we just had, and on to the next one, as they say.
Yeah, doing great. Hey, I think all of our teams won this weekend. So, hey, we're back diving deep into week 2.
I love it. Guys, we are officially live on YouTube. Fantasy Six Pack. Head on over to that YouTube channel. Give it a subscribe, a like. We are officially live. It is happening. It is happening now for us. So if you guys want to follow any of us on our social media sites, you can find Shane at Shane Parlay FF. You can find Jason at Jason Parlay FF. You can find myself at Matt_Parlay FF. Head on over to fantasy6pack.net. That is who we are officially sponsored with. It's the YouTube page. Okay, head over there. Get your all access membership, guys. You will be able to tail so much more of our bets than you currently will see. Okay, head on over there. Get your access membership. Head on over to the Discord page, guys. There's a lot going on that page as well. You'll be able to chat with so many people over there that know a lot about fantasy football, betting, fantasy baseball, any sports. It's all over there, guys. There's so much content over there. Head on over there, give it a like, a subscribe. And with that being said, guys, I think tonight we're going to start off with the fade episode, right? Our betting episode.
Yes, yeah, directly into the parlay.
Yes, sir.
So that being said, guys, let's get right on into it.
Time for the Parlay Fade.
All right, guys, we are back with another episode of the Parlay Fade. I am so glad to be back with y'all. We had a all right week last week. I know Matt went nuclear with his picks. Your boy was kind of down and about. Shane, I think you had a pretty good week as well. You hit on a huge parlay for all of us to get us back right. So without further ado, we're going to let Matt go in and recap his college picks and get into his college picks for week 2.
Yeah, guys. So last week I hit a lot of college plays. Ended up going 7-0 for my best bets, and 6-0 for my best bets and 1-0 on my lock. I've been kind of on a heater. I think on the year so far, out of all the college bets, I'm sitting right around 24 and 12-ish. So we're getting things going. Remember, guys, if you guys want to head on over there and get on these bets, because we're going to win you some money. So you know how I do it every single week, guys. I'll read a couple off, give you some descriptions on my favorite plays, and then I'll just throw a couple other games in there. So number 1 is a Thursday game, guys. Texas State plus 1.5 against Arizona State. Odds, you can get this game at minus 105. As you guys know, you've heard me in the past. I've been riding Texas State from June, right? I actually have them picked in one of my future bets to make the college football playoffs. So I've been red hot on the Bobcats of Texas State since June. I've ridden them in both weeks of this young season, and they have not disappointed me yet. Continuing their dominance last week in a pounding of UTSA 54-10. They have set themselves up very nice as they continue to make college football playoff run, and it is a big moment for them this weekend, facing an Arizona State team that, to be honest with you guys, I had pretty low this offseason. But Arizona State has moved up a bit in my ranks with their impressive wins over Wyoming and Mississippi State. But Texas State will make a massive statement this weekend and prove that they can make a run, which, as you guys know, I already said it. I made them to make bet them to make the college football playoff. Arizona State ranks inside the top 20 in offensive EPA with a successful rushing attack. They should honestly see some success on this Texas State defense, which has improved, but they still have some gaps in it. And if you watch the games, there is some clear gaps in there. But in my honest opinion, where the rubber meets the road is that Texas State has an explosive offense, and they are facing a Sun Devil defense that has been worse than what their 2-0 record portrays. They allowed 6 yards per play against Mississippi State last week. Texas State averages around 7 yards per play, and I expect a repeat performance against this defense of Arizona State. This game proves to be a massive get-up game with a team that is explosive and on the rise. I'm actually taking the money line of Texas State here, but I don't mind dabbling in the cover of 1.5 as well. Next game, guys, Miami versus Ball State. The over-under here is 54.5. Odds minus 110, guys. I'm taking the over here, man. Miami cruised to another victory, moving to 2-0 after another blowout win versus FCS opponent in Florida A&M, 56-9. The Canes outgunned the Rattlers, 549 yards of offense to 190, and look absolutely great in a spot here facing Ball State. Matter of fact, it looks like the Canes are game to score as many points as they possibly can, no matter what the blowout is, every single week. They've combined for 97 points in 2 weeks, and there's no reason that I see them slowing down here against Ball State. Ball State just gave up 34 points to an FCS opponent in week 2. Given how Miami's offense has looked, they could very well score 54.5 just against Ball State. Who knows, right? Ball State does have some experience on offense in the line, and they've got size at wide receiver. I do expect that Ball State will score a touchdown or two, but I'm taking the over here, 54.5, easily. And guys, the last one I'm going to actually talk about, we talked about this game earlier this year. Okay, it's Colorado at Colorado State. Colorado State +8. It opened up at +8, and that's what I took it at. But now it's at +7. Still, I would go take that. Odds minus 110. Listen, guys, you already know Colorado has received the hype all offseason, all last season. They're still receiving hype this year. I hate to break it to you, but Colorado is not a good football team. Sure, right? We can all agree that they have 2 of the best players in NCAA, right? Or maybe just one, because one of them is making so much money in NIL. But nonetheless, Shedeur Sanders is a talented quarterback. He throws the ball a mile, right? But this is a revenge week again for Colorado State. I just called it last week, revenge week for Nebraska. It is so difficult to go to Nebraska atmosphere and come back home, essentially home, but going to Fort Collins against Colorado State. And Colorado State should have won that game last year. Okay, I'm calling another revenge game, another Colorado State cover, if not a Colorado State win. Colorado is not that team that's hyped up to be what they are, and I will take it every single week that they are favored against a experienced, good football team. I'll take that other team every single week. So give me Colorado State now +7, and I don't even mind throwing a few bucks at the money line, right? So give me the Colorado State Rams there in that game. Next game, guys, I got UCLA versus Indiana. Indiana -3. I'm taking Indiana -3. I think you can get it at -2.5 in some places. It's -110. The odds, again, I talked about it when Hawaii played UCLA. UCLA is rebuilding their program. A lot of new players, a lot of new coaches. It's not just going to happen in the snap of a finger, so I'll take Indiana. Next game, guys, UCF at TCU. I'm taking UCF -1.5. UCF is an explosive offense. TCU sneaky good, but I think there's too much experience with UCF, so I'll take UCF -1.5 at -110. Next game, guys. Shane, it's our home dogs, baby. It's the Kansas State Wildcats versus Arizona playing this Friday. I've got the over-under at 58.5. I actually think you can get it at like 56.5, 57.5, something like that. It's minus 110. Listen, both defenses, they do not look good. K-State's defense does not look very good right now. Arizona has a fire passing attack. I do think the playbook for Kansas State is going to open up full bore this weekend, and I think there's going to be a crap ton of points scored. I'm not even afraid of 58.5 if that's what it's at right now. So give me the over that game. I like Washington minus 4.5 versus Washington State in Apple Bowl. Washington's handled Washington State many years. The records proved to show it. So give me Washington at minus 4.5 there. Alabama didn't play well last week. It was on full display, but I expect they're going to go to Wisconsin and just blow the brakes off of Wisconsin, even though they are 2-0. I will take my Alabama to cover minus 15.5. I think you can get it. I think it's 16.5 now, but I got it at 15.5. And then the last game, guys, Missouri versus Boston College. I'm taking it over a 54 here. Boston College is a legit team. Missouri, we already know what they do. Explosive offense, so give me the over 54. Those are my college plays.
EMA, baby. Or is it EPA now? They changed that back and forth, and I'm never sure which one it is now. But yeah, EMA. Go Cats. We know how to score points. That's it.
That's right, baby. That's right.
And Matt, how did you do last week with your college again? Say that for our listeners.
Guys, I went 7-0 last week. I went 4-1 the week before on my college plays. I'm riding high right now. I hope to continue that. We'll see how it goes. But I like these plays this week. It's an ugly slate of games this week, but these games here just jumped out at me. They jumped out at me, and I gotta take the bets there.
Sheesh. Yeah, I know.
Jason's dog in the background.
Sorry about that, y'all.
Okay, so let's move on to the NFL plays. Do you guys have the records?
Yeah. Let me do a quick recap for y'all. So last week, all of us went 2-2. So 500 week for week 1, y'all. That's actually pretty good.
Pause. I'm 3-1, brother.
Yeah,
3-1. Then you updated it wrong.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, last week you wrote down there it is. Looked at the wrong one. 3-1. Okay, so we did go 7-5. I was like, what did I look at right there? Okay, I was about to say. Well, he was going to beat us out regardless with that massive parlay he hit, and he'll talk about that going forward. But real quick, so overall 7-5. Your boy went 2-2. Matt went 2-2. Shane went 3-1. Your boy was the only one whose lock actually hit. Matt and Shane be better. And yeah, so Shane, without further ado, you have the floor.
Yeah, my lock never had a chance. It didn't get off the ground. I don't even think the Panthers showed up to the field, Jason. But I also hit a massive parlay. DraftKings dropped an either or touchdowns, and so I was like, I'll mess around with it a little bit. And total odds were 16,500-ish. I think a little more than that. So it was a 12-leg, one for each of the games. And smacked that. So that was a sick little win. But without further ado, also one fun fact: we are over 1,000 days removed since the last time that Aaron Rodgers threw for 300 yards, folks. So the Jets are back, baby.
So back.
My first pick of the day and my first pick of the week is Colts -3. You're gonna have to hop on this line hot stat. Get there, get your books. Because it is going to move up. Malik Willis is the confirmed starter for Green Bay. Look, we have seen the travesty that is Malik Willis before. It's a pretty moot point at this juncture that Anthony Richardson, in his first full year, is a better player at the quarterback position, despite the inaccuracies, than Malik Willis. Give me the Colts at home to cover 3. It has jumped up to 3.5. It's jumped back, so I would feel comfortable playing at 3. I really like the 2.5 it opened at, but 3 is the stopping point. Do not play the 3.5. You will get caught up. I have another teaser this week. We were on the good side of that last week, so we'll play a teaser with the Rams to +7.5 with that major line movement. Puka is out. The O-line is hurt. However, McVay versus the Cardinals is a bomb. He absolutely has dominated against the Cardinals 10-1 ATS. Kyler Murray is also 1-9 as a starter ATS against the Rams. So I am taking the Rams to cover the 7.5 cushion on this one. I don't know that they'll actually cover the legitimate line, but the 7.5 cushion is more than enough points for me. I'm pairing that with the Eagles versus the Falcons. I'm taking the Eagles to cover the 0.5 points, so the half point. It's not necessarily the best to tease that, but you are teasing through the key numbers, so we'll do it this time. I promise I won't make it a habit. Eagles down, Falcons against the Falcons. They are at home. I know that they just got back from Brazil. However, both teams are on 8 days rest coming into Monday night. It is a Monday night game, which means it is primetime Kirk Cousins. We all know how that goes. It's also Kirk Cousins at night. Also a terrible play. So yeah, Eagles to win the game. And then I am also going to tag the Cowboys minus 6.5. I don't even need to spend a ton of time on this one because the Cowboys looked dominant. The Cowboys looked absolutely filthy, and they're playing against the middling Saints, who just came off of a big win against the division rival. Expect a letdown game here from the Saints. I know it's super chalky, but take the Cowboys at 6.5. I would play it to 7. I would not feel comfortable playing it to 7.5. But this could be a blowout game for the Cowboys. Last but not least, my lock of the week. Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars to win 3 points over the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson could end up on the commissioner's exempt list. So getting ahead of this line actually is super beneficial at this point as well. Also, the Browns are terrible in the beginning of the season against the spread per Kevin Stefanski. He is 8-16 in divisional games in the early season. Kevin Stefanski is terrible. He's also 0-4 ATS in week 2, baby. So go ahead, pound the drum. We're going to take Lawrence to be the ATS king that he is and get me my first lock win of the week.
Spicy. Spicy. I like it. Hey, Matt, go ahead. Take it away.
Oh, okay. I'll go next then. All right, guys. So Shane already alluded to it. One of my bets is the Colts minus 3. Don't really need to go in depth with that. The Colts are going to win that game because Malik Willis is not that guy. So give me Colts minus 3. My next game, guys, I have the Cardinals minus 1.5 now versus the Rams. I did actually take this bet when it opened up, and it opened up at 2.5, Cardinals plus 2.5. I actually took that bet when it opened up before Puka Nacua got deemed to be out and on the IR. But I'm still comfortable taking the Cardinals minus 1.5 here. Here's the thing, guys. Kyler Murray's Kyler Murray. He's going to do his thing. They were beating the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo 17-3 before they said, oh, let's just play conservative. Well, maybe the Cardinals are just a conservative team. Okay. MHJ went 1 for 4, was non-existent in this game, and fantasy just blew up, right? I think he's going to start getting a little bit more involved with this organization. Kyler's going to open the ball up a little bit more, and we're going to see some big plays out of this Cardinals team. I'm not afraid. The Rams did play well. Don't hear what I'm not saying. They played well. But I think Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals have something to prove. So I'm going to take them minus 1.5 in this game. My next game, guys, the Washington Commanders minus 1.5 versus the New York lowly Giants. I don't know. I feel like I need like a monotone voice right here and like a little something playing, a little violin. Like they're already talking about making a quarterback change for the New York Giants and taking Daniel Jones out after week 1. Now, we do realize he's not a good quarterback. The proof's in the pudding, guys. He's just not a good quarterback. The Washington Commanders with rookie Jaden Daniels did not look that great throwing the ball. But the difference is Jaden Daniels can run the crap out of the ball. He looked poised in that team, looked like he could command the game. I think he's going to progress as a passer. Terry McLaurin has to have more than 2 catches, but I see the Washington Commanders winning this game. I'm not scared of the Giants at all. So give me the Commanders. The next game, guys, I rode the coattails of them last week. Give me the Detroit Lions -7 versus Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay looked good. They looked real good. Baker Mayfield looked like a very good quarterback. Cleveland Browns. But the Detroit Lions, it's hard to beat them at home. It's extremely hard to beat them at home. Jared Goff only had 28 passes in that game, and I think like 14 or 15 of them came in the second half. They ran the crap out of the ball the first week. So we didn't get to see a full display of Jared Goff slinging the ball around to Amon-Ra St. Brown. We know what he did with Jameson Williams. He had a fire game. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 3 catches in that game. Once Amon-Ra gets more involved, look out. Detroit's going to roll. So I'm taking Detroit -7 at home versus Tampa Bay. And my lock of the week, guys, is the Dallas Cowboys -6.5. Shane already alluded to it. It's kind of a chalky pick, but yeah, the Saints blew out the team they played, but Shane said it was the Carolina Panthers. I don't even know if they showed up, right? I'm taking Dallas here. We didn't even see the greatest show on turf for Dak either. Like, they looked dominant, and he didn't even really sling the ball around that much. So Dallas Cowboys playing at home, this is going to be a nasty game in my opinion. And I think Cowboys could beat the Saints by 14 or more. So give me Dallas -6.5 as my lock of the week.
You're going big this week. 5 picks.
Yeah. I'm going to throw them out there. I'm just going to throw them out there.
I was like, okay. He's trying to have a better record.
He's
record.
trying to make sure that he doesn't split it 50-50 this time.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, oh, you don't want an even week.
I can't do it.
You don't want an even week. I like those picks. I was actually debating on 4 of the 5 that you selected. So I'm kind of against you on 1, but here we go, y'all. For my first pick, I'm going to go the Thursday night game. I love the Dolphins in this spot. It's at -2.5. Dolphins at home. It's going to be humid as hell. It's going to be hot. I don't think the Bills will travel well. And we all know Tua plays well in warm weather. I think this could be a stomping from the Dolphins. Tua and Tyreek have something going on. If the Bills start out slow like they did last week, this game's going to be over real quick. Give me the Dolphins -2.5 at home. Next one is kind of ugly, and y'all might cringe. But screw it. Give me the Falcons on the road +6.5. I love week 2 games. I think people overreact to week 1. We all know the Eagles played very well, especially with the addition of quads, as we call them. But Atlanta, I think Kirk Cousins is going to get more in a groove, use his weapons, and they're going to show up. This is going to be a close game in this matchup. I like the Falcons to cover 6.5 on the road. Next, Daddy's coming home. Give me the Bengals +6 on the road versus KC. We know the one quarterback who plays well versus the Kansas City Chiefs. We all know that they played like dog-ish last week against the Patriots, who screwed us in the Survivor and we are out. Let's not talk about that. But the Bengals, it was a warm-up game. They're going to get right. They got hit in the face. I think they're going to come out, play a lot better. Jamar Chase hasn't really practiced. They're going to get a groove this week. They're going to come out, cover. I don't know if they win, but 6 points is too much for Joe Burr to come into the Chiefs' kingdom. Lastly, my lock of the week. Give me the Seattle Seahawks -3.5 against the Pats. I'm taking it at 3.5, Shane. I don't care. This is an overreaction line to how the Pats played last week. Yes, they ran the ball and they dominated that game in the trenches. At the same time, this line should be more so 5.5, 6 is what I'm kind of seeing. I think Seattle, especially with Geno and his chemistry that he has with his receivers on the outside. Kenneth Walker played well last week. I like this game for the Seahawks to come in and win by at least a touchdown. Lock it.
Lock it in.
Listen, I like the Seattle pick, but the slander on the Chiefs is going to go. Joe Burrow couldn't even pick up a water bottle in the game, baby. So Chiefs at home. Jason, I don't have it in my list, but I will take the other side of your game on that one. So give me that action. It is now a shot bet.
Ooh, little shoddy action, eh?
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Let's go.
That's sexy. I'm surprised.
So, with what if it at 6? Let's do 6.5. Do you feel that confident?
I like it at 6. I don't like it at 6.5.
Well, if it's a push, then
then we
then
both
what?
shoot a shot.
Then all three of us. I'll join in on that. All three of us.
Okay,
all three
gotcha.
of us right there. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Do you guys want to cook up a quick parlay before we end this sesh?
Yeah, I'll take the Bengals right now, money line.
Whoa. Okay.
All right.
Or do you want me to take the Falcons? You pick.
I mean, it's your pick, so.
Yeah.
Well, I think both teams can win. I think it's a get-right week for both teams. Who's a better number? Give me the Falcons.
I see the Falcons as a more opportune option here. So,
all right, let's give me the Falcons money line.
Plus 260.
Okay.
I'm going to take...
Don't do it, Shane.
I was thinking. I'm cooking. Give me the Bills.
It's a dog parlay.
Give me the Bills.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Dang, I like that one.
Who's your dog, Matt?
I'm gonna be a little risky, guys. I'm gonna go the Minnesota Vikings at home plus 5.5.
Love it.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Matt. That was who I was stuck between, and I kept looking back and forth between on my sheet.
I like
odds 24-34.
Wait, are you doing the line, or are we doing the money line?
Oh yeah,
are we doing spread or money line?
Money line
for that bet. Money line, yeah. I thought you said 5.5.
24-34.
Heck yeah. That's awesome. Guys, well, that is going to be our Parlay Fade episode, guys. Remember, we are doing big things over here, partnered with Fantasy Six Pack. Head on over to the YouTube page. Give it a subscribe. Hopefully you enjoyed this live stream. We will start live streaming now pretty much every single week, especially for our Parlay Fade, guys. Tail our bets, guys. You want to win some quiche, you need to tail the bets. We are doing extremely well both in NFL and in college plays. We're going to keep rolling it for you guys. Remember, if you guys want to check out just our audio side of it, guys, we are keeping the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast our own brand. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, anywhere that you listen to podcasts, we are out there as well. If you want to, we would love for you guys to go over there and subscribe to that. Give us a follow, 5-star review. That really does help out the program. We're going to keep doing some big things for you guys. You guys keep doing your big things for us. So with that being said, Shane, Jason, y'all know what to do.
Hey, it's been real, y'all. Also, make sure to hop in the Discord because that's where all of our stuff is posted, all the additional single game parlays that we've been slamming. And then, other than that, hop over to YouTube if you have any comments because that's where we can see them. We can't see them on Twitter.
Fair enough. Hey, stay sharp. Week 2 is difficult. Don't get blinded by the lines. Gamble responsibly.
Yes, sir. We love you all to the moon and back. Till next episode. Peace out.